going on, everybody? Lawson Turner back with another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. Last game review video of the day. You guys will be seeing this before the games on Saturday tip off, but let's dive straight into it. The Minnesota Timberwolves took a commanding 3-0 lead over the Phoenix Suns last night. This game was close throughout all the first half. They ended up pulling away late and winning the game 126 to 109. They were up 59-53 at half. And this included them going on an 8-0 run from the 8:47 mark to the 7:18 mark. So we're seeing these high caliber teams. Now I'll be the first person to admit it. I was wrong. I picked the Suns in 6, but it looks like the Suns just have no heart or grit or grind to them like Minnesota does. Um, I think that as all three games have gone on, Minnesota gets stronger, and the Suns wither and cower. And there's nothing wrong with just this is probably the worst matchup for Phoenix. Looking back on it now, like 2020 is hindsight. You know what I'm saying? So like this team is long. They have good. They have four really good defenders. Like Ant-Man tries his ass off and is a good defender. Rudy Gobert, good. Not a good individual defender. Well, he can be a good individual defender in the post. He can get some weak side blocks. Then we have Jaden McDaniels, long, athletic, young kid. Then we have Nikhil Alexander Walker. I couldn't remember his first name. He, once again, young, rangy, athletic, long. And they've been giving the big three of Booker, Beal, and KD hell. Now, last night they didn't have Grayson Allen, but I didn't think it would have mattered. Like, we saw their big three have decent games. So, like, Booker had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. That's good. He shot 8 of 15. Good. 1 for 3 from 3. He's not a 3-point shooter. Can be. Hasn't. Beal had 28 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, but his is kind of misleading because they were down 24 a minute into the fourth quarter, and then he hit 5 threes. He shot 5 of 6 from 3 in the fourth quarter alone to kind of make it a little interesting late. Just a little bit because they kept cutting it to that 15 to 12, and if they could have got it to single digits, who knows? What we do know is Minnesota pulled this thing out. Kevin Durant, 25 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. KD was he 9 points in the first quarter. I'm like, okay, so KD's probably gonna have to go for the 35 for them to have a good chance. And then in the second and third quarter, he combines for 9 points between those two quarters. I don't know if KD is just coasting a lot of the time. I don't know, or a lot in this series. It looks like he has to try so much on the offensive end that it's just hell. And there are a lot of times where he's coasting, standing in the corner. I don't know what game plans are, certain schemes. If they're not getting KD looks due to, he's just been guarded hellish. You know, it's tough. Shit is tough for the Phoenix Suns. Let's dive over to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ant-Man, 36 points, another just outstanding game. The 36 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. And did the DX suck it late in the game, which he's gonna get fined. I'm surprised he didn't get a tech because that was some just goofy, funny shit. I'm all for shit housery. I'm all here for shit talking. I'm here for all of it. Rudy Gobert, really good game again. 19 points, 14 rebounds, outstanding. Karl-Anthony Towns, 18 points, 13 rebounds. The the Minnesota Timberwolves not only won the offense rebounding standpoint due to them being a bigger team, they crushed them. 15 offensive rebounds for 19 second chance points. The Suns, 5 offensive rebounds for 8 second chance points. Oh, well, did Minnesota win the turnover battle? No, they lost it. Suns had 9 turnovers. Uh, that Minnesota scored 11 points on, and Minnesota had 13 turnovers, in which the Suns had 21 points off those 13 turnovers, and it didn't seem to matter. Like I said, it was a 6 point game at half, but then from the 8:46 mark to the 4:53 mark of the third quarter, Minnesota goes on a 20-6 run, and just like I mentioned last video in the Dallas Mavericks defeating the Clippers, all of these high caliber teams, they all kind of have the same hang around, it's closer, we're down, and then we're going to go on a run in the third quarter. That to me that's what it is. We saw the Mavs last game. They were down in the first quarter. Then they go on a 24-6 run, and we see Timberwolves as the game goes on. You punch the Phoenix Suns in the mouth, they're gonna cower and whimper, and they go on a 20-6 run. Them being the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know how Phoenix gets this back to Minnesota. Maybe Durant, Booker, and Beal go nuclear from three, and Grayson Allen comes back and chips in, 5, 6 threes. But unless that happens, I don't see a path in which they win Game 4. Other than, I mean, shit. Do you want to lose and get swept on home court? No, nobody does. It's embarrassing. Them being down 3-0 is embarrassing, but not only the fact that that they're down 3-0, it's the fact that through the course of the game, Timberwolves are just beating the piss out of them. Like they're taking them out back and just beating the brakes off of them on both ends of the court. And the video of Anthony Edwards, before the year being asked about Phoenix, him saying, "Well, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jaden McDaniels." Everyone was memeing about it. I thought it was hilarious, but Jaden McDaniels was kind of putting that shit on this series. Now, he was in crazy foul trouble last night, but once again, through the totality of all three games that have been played so far, he's been outstanding on both ends. I don't, I don't see, like I said, unless Booker, Beal, Durant, and Grayson Allen just go nuclear and can't miss from three. I don't see a game 5, and if there is, there damn sure won't be a game 6. When that if it gets to game 5, that Minnesota crowd is going to be um it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy loud. We haven't seen a Minnesota Timberwolves team be good or relevant in a long long time, and now they have something to grasp onto and hold on to because they are one win away from advancing to the second round. Ain't that something? The Minnesota Timberwolves. Crazy, 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 crazy times, crazy times. Well, that's all I have going over this game 4. You guys, let me know your thoughts, opinions, concerns in the comments below. Is there a game 5? Or do the Timberwolves set? I don't even know where I was going to go with that. Does the sun set in Phoenix? There you go, Lawson. Good job. Well, be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Cover2Pod 26. That will be linked in the description below. As always, for the Cover 2 podcast, I'm Lawson Turner, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.